smoother.
Let's hope. Good evening. Thanks a lot for being with us. The Portland metro area is now under a winter storm warning, and at least some areas are looking at a certain ice-snow mix that will make traveling difficult, if not impossible.
We have live storm alert team coverage. We begin with KATU meteorologist Rod Hill.
Well, as you mentioned, we are under a winter storm warning tonight for the possibility mostly of freezing rain overnight into the early morning hours. All areas in blue. Notice that includes Portland out into Washington County, all of Clark County, and then Clackamas and down the west slopes of the Cascades. Notice not included in this warning Salem, where it's quite warm at this hour, actually. McMinnville and the coast is also very warm. Let's begin with what I know. We are right now in the gorge. These are current temperatures from the Dalles to Hood River to Cascade Locks. Low to mid-20s, very cold. Rain is coming overnight. That will be likely ice, and enough of it on I-84 that it might be nearly impossible at times to drive on that interstate. So if you are going through the gorge tomorrow, the winter storm warning will go throughout the morning hours, and if the storm slows up a bit, it could be bad even into the afternoon hours. Snow level, by the way, at 4,000 feet, which means it could be freezing rain, ice well up into the hills. That's the gorge. If you don't have to travel through that tomorrow morning, I would not do it. Freezing rain, I think, is likely on the east side of town, and on the east side, we're talking about Gresham, Camas, Troutdale, down to the Oregon City area. Now, I think at the latest, we would see warming temperatures by 9 in the morning, okay? So, again, the best chance of icing here in the Portland metro area, east of 205, along 205, and then also up here in the Clark County, Orchards, Battleground, Vancouver, because of that cold outflow near the Columbia River. Now, what I'm calling the safe zone, areas that I'm fairly confident will not have any freezing rain. Here on the west side, Hillsborough in the morning, you'll probably be looking at a temperature of 37, Newburgh about the same, Wilson about 36, and again, it would be above freezing, all rain, no big deal. And also in my safe zone, areas southward. In fact, I think Salem could be at 40 degrees in the morning when you wake up. No problems there. No problems in Woodburn, Canby, or Wilsonville. Now, could I be wrong? Yes, but I'm fairly confident about this. And if you do live in these areas, a lot of topography changes. It's very possible we have some pools of cold air get trapped, and there could be an isolated spot with ice. But generally speaking, these areas look very, very nice. We'll talk more about the Rose City and the forecast in general coming up. I do want to show you in Portland right now, it's 33. The heart of the downtown area, still on that freezing line. Could go either way, ice or not. More on that coming up.
Rod, thank you. Where you live, again, may make all the difference if the freezing rain hits. Any sort of elevation will give you trouble. KATU's Anna Song is live at Mount Tabor with the challenges faced by people on the slopes around town. Anna?
Well, Deb, we're at about 500 feet, near 500 feet up here, and our temperature gauge is reading about 33 degrees, literally just within the last few minutes. We've started to see some precipitation coming down. You can see it in the street light there, and it's not just rain. It does feel like a snow and rain mixture, or perhaps some ice mixed in there. But around town today, we found out that if you live on one of these slopes like this, it's really not going to take much to trap you.
You don't have to go far in Portland to figure out the places that will be trouble if freezing rain comes down.
A couple years ago, and it was really bad. We had to go through the same thing. It's a drill around here.
At the foot of Mount Scott, Eric Nelson and his daughter Danny just finished getting firewood. Now they're stocking up on candy bars, just in case.
You're not going anywhere. There's no going anywhere when you live up there. It's just too steep. Wow. So you got to prepare and have a couple days worth of stuff ready to go.
Just about everyone here has a horror story.
My mom actually got stuck on Sunnyside one time, and she couldn't even, make it back up, and she just had to walk all the way back home.
And a measure of patience.
You just have to wait until it's safe to travel.
Pretty much everything shuts down, huh?
It can get pretty quiet, yes.
Icy storms weren't something Joe Keller thought about when he bought his home.
No, not really. We bought it in the summer.
In January last year, the ice storm turned fatal. A retired school teacher taking a cab ride home from the airport jumped out of it when it started to slide down the hill. She got caught underneath the rear tire and died. For most everyone who lives up high, the attitude toward ice is hunker down and don't make plans to leave anytime soon.
I don't think I'm going to be going anywhere. Just probably stay at home.
Now, there are certain main routes throughout the city that do have de-icer put down by the city crews, especially the bus routes. But most of the folks we talked to tonight say they weren't planning to make any major plans tomorrow, and they were just going to wake up in the morning to see what was on the roads. Reporting live in Southeast Portland on Mount Tabor, Anna Song, KATU News.
Sounds like the smart way to go, Anna. Talk to you later on. Thank you very much. Also, ODOT has chained up, as well as more than 200 TriMet buses. It's all in preparation for the possibility the freezing rain makes a skating rink out of the streets. We do expect Troutdale and areas nearest the gorge to be the hardest hit. That's where we find KATU's Derek Skiba live along I-84. What's it looking like, Derek?
Well, Steve, just a couple of minutes ago, it seems like it's started to hail out here, and this is where the interstate would be shut down if freezing rain didn't make a skating rink out of the roads, but right now, no stack-ups here of semi-trucks and cars. Although blustery and chilly, it does not seem that the freezing rain has hit. A trash bag whips about in the icy breeze as a gas station attendant struggles to stay warm.
I got a sweater, a jacket, a shirt on.
Jesus Cortez sprinkles rock salt, trying to prevent patches of ice.
It's freezing. Your fingertips get frozen, your toes, your nose, your cheeks.
Nearby customer Lacey MacArthur realizes she will not be getting home to Vancouver anytime soon. She finds herself stuck in Troutdale, a place that sees sheets of ice materialize every winter.
I'm hoping to get to the other side of the 205 bridge before it freaking rains because I am scared to death of the ice.
The possibility of freezing rain prompted TriMet to install chains on nearly 300 buses, primarily on the eastern side of the metro area.
It takes quite a few man-hours and diverts us from our other work.
Ed Trimpler says these buses will only drive 25 miles an hour with chains. It will likely slow the routes and slow traffic.
They're not going to be able to keep up their speed like they normally do.
A gravel truck prepares to pull out of a Department of Transportation yard. Workers here are just waiting on the storm.
We've already de-iced all of Interstate 84 from here to Hood River and back, so it's already covered.
Back at the gas station, Jesus helps push Lacey's car out of the way as she hopes the predicted icy weather fails to materialize.
So, we'll see. Hopefully somebody can get here soon enough to get me home.
And we don't see her out here right now, so we presume that she did get home. It does seem to be hailing or sleeting quite a bit more out here, but the state DOT and the city of Portland have downplayed this storm a bit, but they say they're ready to respond in greater force if needed. Reporting live in Troutdale, Derek Skiba, KATU News.
Okay, Derek, thank you very much. And based on the forecast, once again, the best chances for ice are north and east of Portland. If you're traveling east of I-205 on I-84 and heading east to the gorge, you can expect increasing icy conditions as you head eastward. The Columbia River Gorge remains under a winter storm warning throughout the morning hours. On I-5, you'll see possible icy conditions on I-5 north of Portland to Woodland. On I-5 south of Wilsonville, the road should be fine south to Salem. On SR-14, there will be increasing icy conditions from Vancouver east to the gorge, and west of Portland on Highway 26, drivers will less likely have problems.
Weather has canceled and delayed flights in other parts of the country, and those troubles have spilled over to PDX. Travelers there are hoping to leave before freezing rain falls. KATU's Nick Winkler is there to find out what PDX is doing, what they actually started doing 2 weeks ago to prepare for this, Nick.
Deb, the freezing rain has just begun falling within the past 10 minutes. We look out on the runway and it appears damp right now, but we do know that planes are getting ready to take off right now. That said, the airport says, though, it's ready for ice.
Ground by ground, it's Steve Eaton's job to keep airport travelers warm with coffee.
We feel responsible for keeping people awake.
And outside the airport, crews are keeping runways and taxiways warm with de-icer. The airport began preparing for freezing rain and snow 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, right now we're in good shape. Every year by mid-November, we make sure all of our special vehicles are ready to go, our snow blowers, our snow plows, and trucks that apply de-icing solutions.
But bad weather elsewhere delayed some flights to and from PDX, so some dreamed, some danced, and Milan Sinak had to hold on to his flowers a bit longer.
Small bouquet. Actually, usually I get a bigger one.
The bouquet is for a friend. She's delayed 30 minutes.
When I see her?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I get a big hug and a smile.
And those?
Well, that's right, yes.
While Sinak waits, airport crews prepare to work. If the weather gets bad, crews will work 12-hour shifts to keep the airport open.
We have very good track record in terms of keeping the airport open during really tough conditions. And, you know, we just put a lot of effort into that.
Back inside, Sinak's wait is over. Lorraine lands well before the icy rain does.
He's been waiting on you a long time. Was it worth the wait?
Oh, heck, yeah.
The two leave for the cold, and soon, so will Eaton, after he makes himself a cup to go.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely take something out at least to hold. For sure.
Workers here at the airport will come in early if they are asked to, and PDX is already helping out other airports, sending federal security agents to Seattle when workers there could not get to work because of freezing rain. Live at PDX, Nick Winkler, KATU News.
That coffee looked good, Nick. Thank you very much for that tonight. We have one school closure so far for tomorrow. Lyle School District number 406 in the Columbia Gorge will be closed. And in Klickitat, buses will be on snow routes.
Be sure to join KATU News tomorrow morning from 5 until 7 for complete storm alert coverage. We'll have the updated forecast, plus our crews will be monitoring the road conditions outside. We'll have our exclusive Beat the Traffic reports and any additional school closures or delays.
We do have some other news to tell you about tonight. In Aloha, a man is charged with killing a mother and her two teenage sons. Ricardo Serrano made his first appearance before a Washington County judge this afternoon. Detectives say he killed Jimmy Dang, his brother Steve, and their mother Melody Dang. They were shot to death inside their Bethany area home on November 3rd. Deputies say Serrano knew the victims.
Portland attorney Brandon Mayfield settles part of his lawsuit against the federal government for $2 million. He was mistakenly arrested by the FBI in connection with the train bombings in Madrid, Spain. The false fingerprint led to him spending 2 weeks in jail. Now the federal government is settling part of this lawsuit for $2 million. Mayfield believes he was targeted for his faith because he's Muslim. The FBI denies that.
At some point, they made some overture asking if I would do a face-to-face, accept a face-to-face apology. But it was with the caveat, to follow up on your other question, that I wasn't targeted as a Muslim.
At that time, the fingerprint identification folks did not know that he was a Muslim.
The Mayfields are still pursuing a case claiming secret searches and surveillance conducted without warrant are unconstitutional.
Oregon Governor Ted Kulongoski is on a week-long trip to the Middle East to visit Oregon troops. The governor, along with 3 other governors, flew in Monday. He spent some time visiting troops in Baghdad, and today he's in Kuwait. Kulongoski notices the situation in Baghdad is a lot more dangerous today than it was during his visit 2 years ago.
This war has been going on for 5 years, and so when these kids joined, most every one of them tells me that they're doing well, and every one of them would like to come home, and I think that's just the nature of being a soldier.
The governor is expected to visit Afghanistan later, where nearly 900 Oregon soldiers are now deployed.
There's light at the end of the tunnel still to come. The latest on the opening of a road to Mount Hood Meadows.
And it's early to get excited about the Ducks basketball team, but we'll show you why more and more people are.
But next, what are you really getting in that cup of decaf? We put your Java to the test.
As severe winter weather threatens the Northwest, be prepared. Stay informed. Tomorrow morning, start with KATU News for up-to-the-minute road conditions, school closures, and complete coverage from KATU News and the Storm Alert Weather Team.
Portland Center Stage brings back the popular This Wonderful Life, the stage adaptation of the holiday classic with George Bailey and all the townfolk from Bedford Falls. This Wonderful Life in the Girding Theater at the Armory. Call for tickets today.
Limited edition gifts for everyone on your list, from autographed guitars to ornaments with Swarovski crystals, while supplies last, starting November 26th.